Good morning students, welcome to the next lecture of Electronic Measurements and Instrumentation. My name is TSS Nagapavan Kumar and today our topic is Q meter under 4th unit. So this is the last topic of 4th unit, Q meters. Right. So first of all see the definition of a Q meter. A Q meter is an instrument which is designed for measuring the quality factor Q. So Q meter is measuring Q factor only of a coil as well as for the measurement of inductance, capacitance and resistance. For a coil Q factor we are measuring and at the same time we are using for measurement of inductance, capacitance and resistance of an electrical circuit at radio frequency at an RF. Q meter is also known as RLC meter. This is very important. The Q meter is also known as RLC meter. Why? Because here we are using this meter for measuring the resistance, inductance, capacitance. So for that reason we can call it as an RLC meter also. Next, coming to that, the Q factor definition. The quality factor or Q factor is a dimensionless parameter. This is we know the Q is a dimensionless parameter that describes how underdamped an oscillator or resonator is. Okay, the quality factor which describes the how the underdamped an oscillator or resonator is. So this is the definition of Q factor. Let us see the discussion of the Q meter. The overall efficiency of the coils and capacitors intended for RF application is best evaluated by using Q value. Just now we have discussed by using Q value we are analyzing the how the best is the circuit. So the coils and capacitors, how these are very much useful for RF application, that is completely decided by the Q value only. The Q meter is an instrument is designed to measure some electrical properties. Just now we said that RLC parameters to measure the electrical properties of coils and capacitors. The principle of the Q meter is based on the series resonance. It is very, very important. The principle of the Q meter, how the Q meter is working, that is completely based on a principle called series resonance. The voltage drop across the coil or a capacitor is Q times the applied voltage, where Q is the ratio of reactance to resistance. It may be reactance to resistance. The reactance may be inductance or capacitance or maybe any other parameter. So XL by X, XL by R or XC by R or EC by R. So whatever the parameter if you require, you can take that parameter for this Q meter. If a fixed voltage is applied to the circuit, a voltmeter across the capacitor can be calibrated to read Q directly. If a fixed voltage is applied to a circuit, a voltmeter across the capacitor can be calibrated to read Q directly, like a voltmeter, how we are connecting parallel to a component. Next, at resonance, we know that the reactances of inductance and capacitances are going to equal. That is equal to XL is equal to XC. So this is we know the condition. In this situation, the EL, that is voltage and the inductor, that is EL is equal to IXL and EC is equal to IXC and E is equal to IR, that is E is nothing as voltage or potential, V is equal to IR, where E is the applied voltage and EC is the capacitor voltage, EL is the inductance voltage and inductive voltage, XL is the inductive reactance and XC is the capacitive reactance and R is the coil resistance and I is the circuit current. So these are the parameters already we know. So the Q factor we are defining finally Q is equal to XL by R. The Q meter here we are measuring with the help of reactance to resistance ratio. That is, it may be XL by R or XC by R or EC by R. From the above equation, if E is kept constant, the voltage across the capacitor can be measured by a voltmeter calibrated to read directly in terms of Q. So this is a measurement procedure or measuring activity from the Q meter. Okay, Right. Next. So this is a basic circuit diagram for Q meter or RLC meter. Here we have an oscillator circuit, here we have a circuit Q meter, and here we have a variable capacitor C, and here we have a CA. So this variable capacitor we are calling generally Turing capacitor, and here we have a shunt resistance, and here we have a meter E, and here we have some inductance and resistance, parameters. So this is the total circuit. This oscillator is connected to the parallel to the shunt resistors. This oscillator two terminals. One terminal is going to one end of the resistance, and another terminal is going to another end of the resistor. So this is the connectivity of the circuit diagram. Now coming to that, the theoretical explanation for this circuit diagram. Okay. The wide-range oscillator with the frequency range from 50 kHz to 50 MHz, and it delivers current to a shunt resistance RSH, which has the value of 0.02 ohms. Okay, here whatever the oscillator we are using in the previous circuit here, so this is the oscillator. This oscillator range is nearly 50 kHz to 50 MHz, and the shunt resistance. So this is the shunt resistance. The shunt resistance value is nearly 0.02 ohms. Right. Next, the shunt resistance introduces almost no resistance into the tank circuit, and therefore represents a voltage source of a magnitude E with a small internal resistance. So see here, the shunt resistance introduces almost no resistance. No resistance. Here the shunt resistance value is 0.02 ohms. 0.02 ohms. That means almost there is no resistance. And here also these oscillator frequency is very important. Note it down. So there is no resistance in the shunt resistance value to the tank circuit, and therefore it represents a voltage source. So automatically it is representing as a voltage source of a magnitude with E, with a small internal resistance, that is a negligible resistance. The voltage across the shunt is measured with a thermocouple meter. So whatever the voltage across the shunt, we are measuring with a thermocouple meter type voltage meter. The voltage across the capacitor is measured by an electronic voltmeter. So the voltage across by this capacitor, capacitors, we are measuring with the help of this voltmeter, electronic voltmeter, that is EC, and calibrated directly to read the Q. And this voltages were this voltage across this capacitor. Across this capacitor, we are measuring the voltage is EC. And finally, we are saying that that is the Q meter value. That is the Q value of that circuit. In this way, we are representing the Q value of that circuit. Next, coming to that, the oscillator energy is coupled to the tank circuit. So whatever the oscillator output we are connecting to the tank circuit, that energy is completely delivered to the tank circuit. The circuit is tuned to resonance by varying C until the electronic voltmeter reaches maximum value. So for getting the resonance in that circuit, we are adjusting the C parameter where we have taken, that is a variable capacitor, and after adjusting to its resonance value, we will get the high Q value. The resonance output voltage E corresponding to EC is equal to QXE, where Q is equal to Q into X into E. That is, Q is equal to E by E. That is equal to Q is equal to E by E. Since E is known, where E is the energy, so the voltmeter source. That E is known, that electronic voltmeter can be calibrated to the read Q directly. The inductance of the coil can be determined by the connecting it to the test terminals of the instrument. So from the test terminal of the instruments, we are measuring the inductance. The circuit is tuned to resonance by varying either capacitance or oscillator frequency. The circuit is tuned to resonancy varying either the capacitance or oscillator frequency. By adjusting the variable oscillator we can tune, or with the help of the oscillator we can tune that frequency. Oscillator frequency, by varying the oscillator frequency we can bring it to the resonance state. Next, if the capacitance is varied, the oscillator frequency is adjusted to a given frequency and resonance is obtained. So finally, by adjusting this capacitance value, we will get the oscillator frequency to resonate the circuit. If the capacitance is preset to a desired value, the oscillator frequency is varied until resistance occurs. If the capacitance is preset to desired value, if you are keeping the value is fixed, whatever the desired value we require, that value if you fixed, the oscillator frequency is varied until the resonance occurs. So up to the resonance occur, the oscillator frequency is going to be varied continuously. The Q reading on the output meter must be multiplied by the index setting, multiply Q by switch to obtain the actual Q value. So here we have to use the multiply Q switch to get the actual Q value. The inductance of the coil can be calculated from the known values of the coil frequency and resonating capacitor. So we can see by the help of this expression, where XL is equal to XC at the resonance part. At that time, F is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC, or where L is equal to 1 by 2 pi F square into C. Otherwise, you can see C is equal to 1 by 2 pi F whole square into L. Otherwise, L is equal to 1 by omega square C, or L is equal to 1 by C is equal to 1 by omega square L. So whatever the function if you require, you can use that type of function here based on our convenient at the resonance part. Next, the Q indicated is not the actual Q because the losses of the resonating capacitor, voltmeter and inserted resistances are included in the measuring circuit. When you are getting the Q value, that is not exactly the Q value because of here the Q value is consisting of the capacitance losses and the resistance values. All the parameters are included here, which is coming from the circuit. The actual Q of the measured coil is somewhat greater than the indicated Q. So whatever the meter indicating the Q value, with comparing to the Q value, that is more higher. That means the desired value is more higher with whatever the indicated value we are getting from that meter. The difference is negligible except where the resistance of the coil is relatively small compared to the inserted resistance or shunt. If the resistance is very less, then the difference between the measured value and the desired value is not that much of big problem. Okay, so this is about the Q meter. So this is a Q meter which is used for measuring the unknown resistance, capacitance, inductance parameters or Q factor of a circuit. Okay, so this is the Q meter and its related information. Okay, thank you. With this, we have completed our 4th unit syllabus in the EMI subject for 4th year 2nd semester BTech course. Okay, thank you.